Sixth stop on the BMW IBSF Bobsleigh and Skeleton World Cup Tour. It's the oldest artificial track on the planet at Königssee in Bavaria. First action on Friday, women's skeleton. In fifth position, Canada's Mimi Relive. 2300s ahead of then-leader Megan Henry of the USA, only 2/10 away from the lead after a skiddy first run for all the athletes on the very fast German ice. Relive eased away from Megan Henry, who'd had a great second heat, to put herself in medal contention. Four sleds remaining, and Janine Flock, a multiple medal winner on this track, the bronze medalist in the last race 2 seasons ago, dropping behind early in the run, recovering her composure below the lower labyrinth to speed uphill towards the line, but just 500 short. Third after the first heat, Jacqueline Lurling, the winner of the last 3 races here, including the 2017 World. She's also our World Cup points leader, looking for win number 3 of the season. 1600s behind early on, but using her knowledge to streak away and take the lead, guaranteeing herself a medal. Russia's Elena Niketan missed most of training, struggling with the illness that all her teammates are suffering with, but her start was almost at track record speed. She too tidied up her second run, accelerating away early on, but she couldn't quite match the Germans' pace at the line. Lurling led with just 1 sled remaining. The final slider, Tina Herman. She was the winner here in both races in the 2015-16 season ahead of Lurling. It's her home track too. A win here would be her second of the season. And at the Kreisel, that looked likely. A fantastic bottom end of the track saw her cross the line with a brand new track record and her first win here in 5 seasons. Home victory for Tina Herman from Jacqueline Lurling and Elena Niketan. And Tina Herman closes still on our World Cup points leader. Jacqueline Lurling with the advantage, but it's slender with only 2 races remaining in the season. A late afternoon start for men's skeleton meant that they were heading into the darkness as they got ready for the second heat. Germany's Felix Qiang, the junior world champion in Königssee in February, had a shocking first heat. Only 12th position on the track on which he learned to slide. Only one thing for it, he said, I'm going to try and break the track record. And he did. He was in exceptional form. Just 600ths off the all-time fastest run down the track. So fast had Qiang been that he was still the leader as Martins Ducours came to the line. Ducours an unusually low 5th place after the first heat, and he dropped further. Only 4th fastest at the line, Qiang edging closer to the medals. In 4th place after the first of the 2 heats, Germany's top slider Axel Jung. Would he be able to hang on in front of his flying Bavarian teammate? Well, this is not perhaps his favourite track, and today might not have helped. Close, but not quite close enough for Jung. 100th behind, Qiang led a Germany top 3, with the athletes separated by just 200ths. In the bronze medal position after the first heat, China's Qiang. Now, he'd been the bronze medalist in La Plania for the first time in his career 2 weeks earlier, but a skid out of the starting groove buried his hopes, and he sank without trace. Only 8th fastest at the line. Qiang in the medals, unbelievably, from 12th in Heat 1. Alexander Chechikov with nearly half a second in hand over the young Bavarian, second after the first heat, but looking forward towards the first heat leader, trying to claim his 3rd win of the season and the 3rd of his career here in Königssee. A great bottom half of the track set him up perfectly with a flying run. final sled on ice, Sun Bin-young of Korea, the winner by 400s in Winterberg 3 weeks ago, his first win of the season. The Korean was in front halfway down, but didn't have the run he needed. Trouble on the bendy straight, and then dropping behind below the Kreisel. He would be in the silver medal position as Tretyakov claimed victory for the third time this year. Sun Bin-young in second, and a second ever Korea medal for Felix Kaisinger, bronze at home, having rallied from 12th position. But it's Alexander Tretyakov who now takes the World Cup points lead with 2 races remaining. Misty conditions on Saturday morning. First action on the track, women's bobsleigh. Second heat of the race and a tight top 6 covered by 0.15 of a second. Kathi Beil of Austria tied for 4th place with Germany's Stephanie Schneider, trying to beat Mariama Yamanka, the Olympic and world champion who had just gone down the track. Better speed allowed her to creep in front at the line, guaranteeing a top 5 finish. Stephanie Schneider has had 2 bronze medals in the last 2 seasons in Bavaria, but tied for 4th place, 1200s off the lead. Could she improve? First job was to dispose of Stephanie Schneider, and a clean run down the Bavarian track saw her comfortably into the lead, but there were still 3 sleds to go. In third place, Kaylee Humphries and Sylvia Hoffman. Humphries already with 3 wins on this track, but as a Canadian athlete and a slew of other medals. Could she add to that tally? It was a great looking bottom part of the track that allowed her to spear in front. With 2 sleds to go, she was in the medals. The final 2 sleds were absolutely tied to the 100th in the first heat. First off, Christina Brown and Kristen Bujanovsky looking for another medal. They dropped behind their former teammate at the start though and struggled to recover their composure. A rocky lower labyrinth meant that they would be not second but third at the line and potentially out of the medals. The final sled on ice, Lara Nolte and her brakewoman Elena. Her 4th World Cup race, and Lara Nolte already with a gold, silver and bronze medal in the previous 3. So could she add to that tally? It looked good. 200s ahead just before the line, but it disappeared. Kaylee Humphries was the winner. Lara Nolte taking silver, another medal to add to her chest, and Stephanie Schneider for the 3rd straight year in the bronze position. And that leaves Kaylee Humphries on top our World Cup leaderboard with her first win as an American in Europe from Stephanie Schneider and Mariama Yamanka. Saturday afternoon and conditions were ideal for the 2-man bobsleigh race. 6th after the first heat, Oskars Kybarmanis of Latvia in a tight battle for the medal positions. After injury forced him to sit in last week in Innsbruck, he was back to his best, starting superbly and driving well too, to put the current leader Michael Vogt of Switzerland back behind him. And Kybarmanis was still the race leader after overhauling Brad Hall as we got to the top 4. Former winner Justin Cripps of Canada has taken a bronze and a silver in the last couple of races here, but he hasn't been firing on all 12 cylinders in Europe so far. That was about to change. A breathtaking second run to put him into the lead by a handy margin, but there were still 3 sleds to come, all of them German. The tie for the silver medal position featured 2 of those sleds. Nico Walter first up, just 200s advantage over Cripps from the first heat. He'd need to be perfect, but that had ebbed away by the time he headed down to the Kreisel, and the gap would only grow. Despite good speed below the labyrinth, he was still a couple of hundreds behind at the line. Cripps was in the medals. In February last year, Richard Olsen claimed his 4th Junior World Championship title on this track and also won the German team selections pre-season here, so he's a bit of a favourite. He was in the lead halfway down, but again, mistakes in the labyrinth almost caused a crash and cost him a medal. The final sled looking for his 4th straight win, his 5th in total here, Francesco Friedrich of Germany. With nearly 3/10 in the bank over Justin Cripps and an even faster start, it looked made in the shade until the lower labyrinth where he nearly crashed it. But by that stage he had just enough in hand to still take a half-second margin of victory. His 4th straight win of the season, his 4th in 6 years here in Königssee. Friedrich is the World Cup points leader and still looks like the favourite wherever he goes, despite the occasional slip-up that scares the brakeman. Justin Cripps now up to 2nd in the World Cup rankings, ahead of Switzerland's Michael Vogt. Sunday in Königssee, the blue-ribboned event, the 4-man bobsleigh. In his 4th World Cup start in 4-man, Qiang of China lay just inside the top 20. But trouble was in store in the notorious labyrinth low down on the track. The sled rolling out of his control. The crew were okay afterwards, though. In a tight lead group battling for the medals with the top 8 covered by a 1/4 of a second, it was anybody's guess who was going to come out on top. A disappointing first run was tidied up by Oskars Kybermanis of Latvia to run away from then leader Alexei Stulnev. The Latvian was still in the leader's box as we got to the final 3 with Justin Cripps of Canada. He'd been in the silver medal position in the previous days. 2-man race, would he be able to claim another medal? Ahead at the Königssee and with great speed on board, the Canadian threaded the eye of the needle through the labyrinth to guarantee himself a medal. 2 sleds to go, and they were the drivers who tied for the World Championships here in 2017. Francesco Friedrich's first run had been untidy. His second was not. It was absolutely stunning, and he raced away into the lead, throwing the gauntlet down to his teammate and local hero, Johannes Lochner. The driver from Viesturs was the final man on ice, defending a slender 0.04 of a second lead. Would it be enough? Behind at the Königssee, Hansi's run never found the speed of his teammate. And for the first time in his career, Friedrich beat Lochner in Bavaria. A delighted win for the East German driver. Johannes Lochner, silver medal, and in the bronze, Justin Cripps. But victory for the 2nd time in the weekend, going to Francesco Friedrich, his 4th 4-man win of the season. He's our World Cup points leader as we head to St. Moritz and the final 4-man of the year.